I'm Dave and this is Logan, out once again for a walk in the New Forest. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're at a place called Bramshaw Telegraph, or sometimes known as Telegraph Hill. It's about 3 miles from Brook on the B3075. And today, when Logan wakes up from this glorious sunshine, we'll be going we are keeping you awake. We'll be going out on a roughly about a 3-mile circular route to the south. We'll be looking for hopefully some remains of a castle, and who knows what else we might find along the way. So do join us. It is a glorious sunny morning. It's only what, 7:30, the end of May. It's already 12 or 14 degrees. I think it's going to be about 22 degrees later on. Now, we can't lie about here all morning. Let's go. Well, the reason or the origin behind the name Bramshaw Telegraph or Telegraph Hill is we're actually on one of the highest parts of the New Forest here. It's about 420 foot above sea level. And many years ago it was the location of an optical signal shutter station. Not easy to say. Developed in 1796 by the Reverend Lord George Murray, and the station was one of a series that linked Plymouth with the Admiralty in London and was used to send messages during the Napoleonic Wars in 1806. The station would have been manned by 1 officer and 2 ratings, and signals would have been sent by opening and closing shutters in a vertical frame, and they used telescopes having a clear line of sight to the nearest stations. Now, they reckon that to get a message from London to Plymouth could be done in less than 20 minutes. Incredible, really. There's nothing left of the station now. It would have been a wooden building. In fact, they're not 100% sure exactly where it was, but possibly would have been very close to Hope Cottage, which is the little house that's opposite the car park. Well, we're going to make a little bit of a detour from our circular walk, because I want to go and have a look inside Studley Wood to see if I can find a castle. So let's go. I'll show you where I'm going to be going. Actually, just as we do so, I just want to show you this holly tree. And then I want to point out there is look at the lack of branches at the lower levels, and that's called the browsing line, where obviously ponies eat up to and can't eat a higher level. And I've just found something on the ground here, and I'll just show it to you. I don't know if you can see. It's this is what's known as a reflective collar for one of the New Forest ponies, and they tend to put these on round about September time, when the ponies are captured for their once a year check in the pony drift, and these are put round their necks, and it provides a bit of protection. If they're crossing the road at night, it should show up in car headlights. And as you can see, they're designed to come off very easily in case, as probably what happened in this case, the pony got the collar caught up in a branch. Oh, goodness gracious, look at this. I don't know if this is going to show up because it's very dark in these woods, but this is another holly tree, and I don't know if you can see, I'll try and get a flash photograph of this, but the marks on the bark where probably a pony has been chewing away. You can see the damage they can cause to some of these holly trees. Right. So we are heading ever deeper into Studley Wood. I'm hoping I can find the remains of Studley Castle. Well, I finally found what I was looking for. If you look at an Ordnance Survey map of the area in Studley Wood, you'll see highlighted Studley Castle. Well, it wasn't actually a castle. It was a royal hunting lodge, built in about 1360. About 4 of them. I think there's another one at Lyndhurst, built roughly around the same time. There are 7 in total across the whole of the forest. And it was built for Edward III, and was basically just a temporary accommodation for royalty and nobility during their hunting trips. The buildings themselves just would have been wooden, perhaps with a slate roof, so there's nothing remaining of those. But what you can still see today, or just about, let's see if I can show you, is the banking and ditch that would have been around the lodge, about 35 metres square, and I can just about make out, so this is one corner here, and let's have a look, see if I can make it out. Yeah, you can just about see it's not even as big as a boundary bank, but you can clearly make out there would have been a ditch as well. And yeah, there's another corner here, and then yeah, I'm just going to follow it around here. So it's totally overgrown, and you wouldn't know it was here unless you saw it on the map. Ah yes, there's a little bit more obvious of the location of the ditch, and then again here's another corner here. Oh well. Not quite as exciting as a castle to look at, but a little bit of history nonetheless. Okay, well, we're now going to head back out of Studley Wood. Even though it's a sunny day, it's quite dark in here because obviously all the trees are in leaf now, and head back onto our original route. Well, we've made our way almost back to the start from that little detour. I meant to say, I parked the car at the Telegraph Hill Forestry Commission car park. It's not the biggest car park in the world, I'll warn you. So we're now going to be heading east. The sun's out now, really is a glorious day now. And we're going to head down to Clay Pit Bottom. And you can see why it's called Clay Pit Bottom, just from this path here. You can see it's quite a clay soil, and in fact, indeed, many years ago, well, if you go back to Romano-British times, there was quite a thriving pottery industry in this area, up to about 400 AD, and I guess you've got all the raw materials, the clay, there's plenty of water with streams about, and certainly plenty of wood to fire the kilns. But all the way, I'll show you, yeah, so all the way that's looking south, and through that valley and through those trees you often still come across little bits of pottery through there. We've made it to the top of the ridge. I think it's called Homey Ridge or Homey Ridge, probably because just looking around me there's a whole load of holly trees or holly holmes. But if I just pan round and show you this quite magnificent view, and this is looking west across the valley that we've just come up. In the far distance that's Studley Wood, and then just next part of the walk we're going to be heading south towards Iworth Wood. It is smashing. Little bits of purple of rhododendron and some foxgloves peeking about above the what is predominantly heather, bracken and bits of gorse, and then in the background, as I say, the wonderful oak and beech really at their best now. Well, I just made our way across the ridge, a little bit of open area, and we're just about to go into Iworth Woods. But before we do, just want to show you another little bit of evidence of the damage to holly trees by ponies. Now, I was reading that there's a fungal disease specifically affecting holly at the moment that's causing a decline of holly woods, and wounds such as these often allow spores in the fungus-like organism to enter, which is a shame. But there we go. Right, so we're going to say goodbye to this lovely sunshine and go deep into some woods, which will be nice because it'll cool us down a little bit. Well, I know there's a few folk that sometimes watch my videos and then do the walk afterwards, and if you're one of those people, then this is an important part of the walk. Look out for this dead tree that's on my right, because we've been coming or heading south. We're now going to make a right turn to head west, going deeper into a wood, slightly downhill. It's not disastrous if you miss this turning that's just after this tree. There's another couple of paths you can take. Incidentally, if you want to do a slightly longer route or add another 3 miles, you could carry on straight along this track all the way to Iworth Pond and Fritham. And I actually did a walk at Fritham, so I'll put the link at the end of the video. Do check it out. Right, let's kick on. Well, continuing to make my way downhill into this gorgeous wood, we will eventually come across a significant track that goes through the middle of this wooded area, so we can't get lost. Trust me. Right, we've come across now a boundary bank. I don't know if it's coming across on the camera okay. And on the left hand side we've got Iworth Wood, and then on the right hand side that is the Islands Thorns enclosure, which was created or enclosed in 1852. And the area, it would have been cleared and planted with oak, and indeed it's still one of the largest even aged oak plantations in the forest. You can see the boundary goes all the way down there, and originally when it was made it would have had a wooden fence along the top for about 30 odd years, just enclosing it all so that it gives the trees a chance to grow without being eaten by ponies and deer and what have you. Okay, so we are continuing our way through this. It is a beautiful, I think you get the birds twittering away in the background, and I've probably said before, but I love this, the way that the dappled shade, well the way the sun creeps through the canopy of leaves above. Alright, well this was the track that I was looking for, and a bridge that goes over Latchmore Brook. And well, this is normally a really free-flowing stream that goes all the way out to the River Avon, but as you can see it's pretty dry, and on this side as well. Look at that. It's quite a steep bank in there, just shows how deep it can get in the winter. just as we're now heading north, got some woods on one side and some beautiful views I'll show you on the other. But I just sort of point out something to look out for. There are 6 little Bronze Age barrows here. Very difficult to actually make them out. They're not that particularly high. You probably can only see about 4 of them. But this is called the Butts on a map. So I guess that it may have been used as archery targets in the past at some stage. But these round barrow cemeteries, and there's another little hump over there, they date back to the Bronze Age, 2000 BC to 700 BC. You often see groups of up to 30 of them in some parts of the country, but basically they're rubble earth mounds covering either single or multiple burials. Right, just make our way up. Nice little breeze coming across the plain, and I'm now looking west. Vast open heathland. And of course, way back in the Second World War, this was the outskirts of the old Ashley Walk bombing range. And I've actually done a walk at Ashley Walk and tell you a bit about the range there. So if you haven't already seen that, do check it out. Well folks, we've come to the end of our walk. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like, thumbs up, and do make a comment. And if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, and that way hopefully you'll be able to join us for another walk sometime in the future. We've had a lovely walk this morning. We're back home for some breakfast. So thanks for watching, and until we meet again, cheerio.